Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a semi full face of Fenty makeup. I have a few products that I've never tried from the line, including their primer and their foundation. And I was like, you know what, let's just do a first impression on those products. And then I'll just throw in some of the other items that I've actually tried and I have in my collection. And we'll do like a semi full face of Fenty. So we have the Pro Filt'r Retouch powder, we have the foundation, we also have the concealer, we have their Stalk'r bronzer, and we also have to try out their Pro Filt'r primer. So we've got a few things here from Fenty and we're gonna put them all to the test, and yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. All right, so there's some new stuff here that I've never tried from Fenty before, so I'm excited to get to those things first. So I feel like this has been going around for a little while. So this is the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. So this is the primer from Fenty. Oh my God, this is so cute. You get this deluxe size sample of it. So this is the Pro Filt'r Primer. This is such a cute packaging. I love this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit, and let's apply her. That has a really nice soft scent to it, like almost like a baby powder. That feels really, really nice on the skin. So this is supposed to stop shine. It's supposed to be a pore diffusing primer that smooths the way for better foundation application. It's supposed to be like an instant retouch effect. So it's supposed to make you look basically flawless. I will tell you, I love the way it spreaded on my face. It felt like it was like it kind of just felt like a cream. It went on really nice. My face looks very soft. I do think my pores look a little smaller, so let's move on to the next thing. So I did get the foundation. So this is something I've been wanting to try for so long from Fenty. So this right here, guys, is the Pro Filt'r foundation. This is a very known foundation from Fenty. Everybody was talking about it when it released. The only thing is that I do know a lot of people say that it is a little bit on the matte side. I'm not a huge fan of matte foundations, but we're gonna see how it works. This retails for $35 for the full size of the foundation. The color that I got was 220. I don't know if this color is going to be too dark for me. It actually looks like it might be. So I'm actually happy that the concealer that I own from Fenty is a little on the light side, so it'll probably help diffuse the color imbalance here. So they claim that this foundation is a soft matte long wear foundation with buildable medium to full coverage. And yeah, it's supposed to be a soft matte, even though I know a lot of people say that it's really matte, but I do like that it says full coverage. I don't know if this color 220 is going to be way too dark. I hope it's wearable. It's a little on the dark side, but it might work. It's too dark for sure, but I can like pull it off. On one side, I'm gonna put it on with a brush. Holy crap, that's full coverage. Oh my gosh. And it has that really nice soft scent to it. I like the scent in these products. It's not like one of those real heavy scents. I usually don't like scents at all. This is like a scent that I can deal with. Wow, I feel like this is gonna be super matte. Okay, so this is the brush, and guys, this is super full coverage. Look at that. Holy crap. I didn't know it was gonna be that full coverage. That was like 2 pumps onto this brush, and look at that. Wow. Okay, so that's impressive. I'm gonna use a sponge on the other side of the face to see which side I like better. I'm usually not the biggest fan of full coverage foundations because sometimes I think that they look a little bit on the cakey side or a little bit too much, but we'll see. You know, you never know. It's definitely, in my opinion, blending a lot better with the sponge than I feel like it blended with the brush. And the coverage is about the same. So me personally, I think I would use a sponge. I feel like some places around the nose and stuff that I used it with the brush did not blend as good as the sponge has done. And I don't really feel like you're losing too much coverage with the sponge. So I would do the sponge. And I think that this looks pretty decent. It's definitely matte though. Like, it's matte. This is super matte. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more right here, not too much, and I'm just gonna blend it in with the sponge kind of to even everything out. Since I used a sponge on one side, I wanna use it on the other side. That's the problem with some of these free samples. They don't give you enough options, you know? Like, there was an option lighter than this, but that would have been like super light. So sometimes I'd rather go a little bit darker, because if I go too light, I don't like to look too white. I think it looks really off on me. So I think I've blended that pretty good. Like I said, guys, it's a little off, you know, the color, That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just put on my brows while I'm waiting for this to dry down a little bit. Then I'll give you guys what I'm thinking so far. But I wanted to just do the top of my eyes before I jump into the concealer. And I'm gonna give you guys a few quick little thoughts on the foundation so far. So it's pretty much set in already. And I will tell you that for my personal preference, it's a tad bit on the cakey side. Like, I feel like my forehead lines are a little bit on the exaggerated side. That is because it is a matte foundation. So it's gonna show more imperfections. And I feel like it's showing a lot of like, you know, like little build-up areas here around the mouth, and then right here I have a little bit of dryness. And if you look like really closely, you can kind of see like right here it kind of looks a little dry. So this is like one of those foundations that I don't think goes good with maybe dry skin, more mature skin. I would say let's skip on this one. I think this is more for oily or combo skin that is not as mature. I think you guys can probably pull this off. Or if you just really love full coverage foundations, then you might be used to like this kind of look. I personally just don't like that type of look. I like it to look more like it's melted into the skin than that it's kind of like sitting on top. And I feel like this one on me personally, it sits a little bit on top. Not every single part of the face looks bad, so it's not like bad. I just think that this is just like the formula. This is the formula of it. It's more of a matte. I think around my chin area is the area that I don't like the most. In the sides of my nose, I always get really dry, and anytime I use something matte, it kind of emphasizes the dryness, and I feel like that is happening with this foundation. So for me, this is not the foundation for me. So let's quickly jump into this concealer from Fenty. So this is the Pro Filt'r concealer. I have tried this before on my channel before. The problem that I have with this concealer is that I don't feel like the coverage on this is that strong. Now, maybe if this was created to go with this foundation, I can understand why they wouldn't need it as strong of a coverage, because this foundation is so full coverage that if you want to wear them together, I guess you wouldn't want to have like two very strong coverage things on top of each other in order for your, you know, face not to look exaggeratedly cakey. So I think that for me, this concealer is not the best, because I personally wear medium coverage foundations for the most part, and I want my concealer to be a little bit more full. And I don't believe that this one has that full coverage that I enjoy. Now, that being said, if you guys like a more medium coverage concealer that does blend good, this is a good blend concealer. It looks really nice, and I can't remember not liking the way it wore. I think that it doesn't really crease much on me. It's pretty good. Like, for the most part, it's good. So if I'm wearing like a very full coverage foundation, maybe I would grab something like this, but since I tend to not wear super strong coverage foundations, I usually wouldn't need this. Like, this is just like one of those concealers that kind of like just gets set aside for me. So that's why I know I don't like love it. But like I said, there's really nothing super wrong with it besides the fact that I don't think it has the coverage that I personally like in other concealers. You know, for $26, if you're looking for a medium coverage concealer, it may be good for you. You know, I have other concealers I like more. So I want to try this. So this I'm actually pretty excited to try. Here is a sample size of the Pro Filt'r powder. So this is the loose setting powder that was released, and I was dying to try this. I wanted to buy the full size, and this is in the color Butter. I wanted to buy the full size at the VIB sales, but then I said, you know what? I have a sample I haven't even tried. Might as well try the sample, see if it's any good. I love the fact that they're making these little samples look just like the product. I think that's such a great, ingenious idea. It has that delicious smell too. Okay, so Fenty's smell, I love. And I don't like smells, but this one just like basically smells like baby powder, but like really nice baby powder, like so subtle. Oh, that kind of looks nice. I think I like the powder. So I really like some parts of the powder, but I don't know how much I like the way it set the under eyes. Feel like it kind of made my under eyes look a little bit drier, and that's not something I really like. So I don't know if this too would work better for like oilier skin than me, or maybe even not as mature skin. Then again, it could also be this foundation that's super dry, that it's already making my under eyes look dry. So I'm gonna say that the powder, I want to try it again with a different foundation and a different concealer, because I feel like I really like the silky feel of that powder. Feels like a powder I would like. So That one, I don't know. I'm gonna blame that on the foundation that I don't really love and the concealer that's on top of the foundation. So that's what I'm gonna blame it on. So I'm gonna try this product that I really like. This is the Stalk'r bronzer. I got it in the color Shady Biz. I even feel like I could have gone probably one color up if I wanted to. This might be even a tad bit too light for my skin tone, but I do like it and it does look really pretty and natural on my skin. So yeah, this is a really nice bronzer. So the bronzer for sure is really pretty. All right, let me go ahead and finish off my face and I'm gonna give you guys some thoughts. So this is the finished face and I have to say that some of these products are pretty damn good. Some of them are just not for me. Now, I will tell you guys quickly, the foundation doesn't look bad on my face. It actually looks nice. There is some areas that look a little dry. For me personally, the foundation would just be too dry for me to wear every day. It's like a little bit on this area right here. I could already feel it feeling a little too dry, and that's because it's super matte. It also emphasizes a little bit of my fine lines and it emphasizes some wrinkles and stuff. That could have to do with the fact that it's full coverage and the fact that it's matte. Now, like I said, every skin is different. I'm definitely gonna say for me personally, I can't use this foundation like an everyday foundation. I personally just can't. It's a little too dry, a little too full coverage. For me, this foundation is more like event makeup or, you know, performance makeup. It's kind of a thicker formula, so it really cakes on there, so to give you like a real full coverage effect. So it can look really nice like in photographs or on stage or at an event, but I feel like for like just every day, it's just too much for me. It also accentuates some of my wrinkles and all of that good stuff, and that's more of the stuff that you would see like talking to me face to face. So for me, this is just not the type of makeup that I would want to wear. It's pretty. I hope that she comes out with a more radiant version of this and maybe a little bit less full coverage, but I can tell the formula seems to be nice, and I can see how some people would enjoy that, especially if you have oily skin. You might really like that. For the concealer, this is another product that to me is just almost there, but not 100%. I do like the way it looks under the eyes. I think it does a nice effect. I do feel like it's a little bit on the medium light coverage than it is on the medium full coverage. I like my concealers to be a little bit more full coverage. That being said, it's a good like everyday kind of concealer when you don't have that much makeup on and you don't really want to put too much under the eyes. It can work good for that. Now I can see how these two would pair together nicely, because since this is so full coverage and this is a little bit less, they do look really nice together. So if you're using these two together, I can see you enjoying that, especially if, you know, the foundation works for you. This is just like one of those concealers to me that I tend to not pick up very often, that I kind of say, oh, the concealer. Actually, you guys, this primer I actually really like. I like the way that it felt on my skin. It gave me like a moisturizing effect. I do think that it minimized the pores a little bit. I like this primer. I just personally would like to use this primer with a foundation that's a little bit more radiant, that kind of sinks a little bit more into the skin, to kind of really see what effect it does, because it does work with this foundation. Just on my personal skin, I can't appreciate this primer as much because of how thick the foundation is. So I would like to try that primer with a different foundation. Now, this to me is probably the best item here, the Fenty Stalk'r. This is a beautiful bronzer. The silkiness of it is really incredible. I love the way it applies. Like I said before, I got Shady Biz. I even feel like my skin tone, I could have gone up even one more shade in the bronzer, but I do love this color tone. So this is a beautiful color tone on me and I really enjoy it. And then the last item is this Retouch powder. I feel like this could be a good powder. I just don't know if, because of the other two items, the foundation and the concealer, with this is just a little bit too much. So I want to try this with something else that I own and kind of put it on top to kind of see how I like it, because I've made my under eyes feel so nice and smooth, which usually when powders are too dry on me, they look like kind of like too cakey, and when you feel them, they feel like they dried out. This didn't do that. This actually made it feel velvety and nice. The only thing is my under eyes don't look that fantastic, and it could actually be the foundation sitting underneath that's already so dry that it's making the under eyes already appear dry. So I do feel like I'm going to like this powder, especially the feeling of it. And I did apply it on my forehead and some other areas, and I feel like it felt nice there. So I have a feeling I might like this powder. I just don't like it with these items, and The smell of this thing is so good. I just kept on breathing when I was putting it on. I was like, Christina, stop sniffing the powder. Like, I started tasting it. I was like, that's not good. Like, it's not good. So to me, for sure, these two are wins. I really, really love them. This one I feel like I might like, and this one's okay. Like, it's not my favorite concealer, but it definitely does the job. And the one that I don't like the most is definitely the foundation, and that is personal preference. I don't really love matte foundations, and it's just too dry on me. For the most part, I think there's some really good products in here, and there's some that I don't really love that much, so it's kind of a hit or miss. But that being said, I feel like the Fenty quality is really good. I think it's just since they're a brand new brand, there is not two different options for foundations. Like, there's not a hydrating version yet, there's only a matte. And then also the same for the concealer. Maybe there's gonna be one that's gonna be a little bit more hydrating coming after. So this is just like a growing thing that I feel like pretty soon Fenty will have items that I'm gonna love even more. So I can tell from all of the products, the quality is there. It's just the style is not my style yet. But I'm sure that's going to come out in the future. So I have to say overall, Fenty does seem like it comes out with really good quality items. So I am a big fan of the brand. I think that this is just the beginning. I think there's going to be a lot of new stuff that's going to come out. There's some eyeliners that I cannot wait to get my hands on, the neon ones that are coming out now for the summer. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where this brand is going to go. So anyways, guys, I hope I helped you guys if you guys were considering any of these items. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button before you leave, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.